16 members of Parliament spoke in support of the new bill that aims to bolster long-term care needs of severely disabled Singaporeans. Now, the recurring issues brought up during the debate include relaxing claims criteria so more disabled people can benefit and gender-differentiated premiums. Li Ying tells us more.
Under the new national insurance scheme, severely disabled individuals who cannot perform 3 or more activities of daily living, such as dressing themselves or going to the toilet on their own, will be eligible for cash payout starting from $600. But parliamentarians raised concerns that the criteria are too onerous and asked what support there is for those with mild or moderate disabilities. Some also asked for the starting payouts to be increased. In response, Senior Minister of State for Health Edmund Tong said lowering the claims criteria to 2 activities of daily living or increasing starting payouts to $800 will cause premiums for a 30-year-old policy holder to go up by a third.
And I urge members to remember that the payout from CareShield Life is intended and it is designed to be complementary. It complements the other pillars of financing support, not replace and not take over, and also not put in place and reduce others. It's to complement as an add-on. Lower and middle income Singaporeans, including those with moderate disabilities, will be supported with subsidies of up to 80% for residential and non-residential care services and can also receive other disability grants.
Another issue that was hotly debated, gender-based premiums. For instance, women will have to pay more as they are likely to live longer and experience severe disability. But some pointed out that women also live with less financial resources.
Women tend to lose out to men in earnings and savings, in part due to them exiting from the workforce early to care for their families. Many sacrifice their prime years to stay home and care for their loved ones. The years away from work mean they may have little or significantly less savings in their MediSave.
Mr. Tong said the averaging out of premiums across gender will only work if the scheme is fully universal. As CareShield Life is optional for existing cohorts, gender-neutral premiums will encourage men to stay on ElderShield and buy supplements from private insurers, which would appear cheaper.
This increases the risk of gender skewing in the risk pool, as more women than men would join the CareShield Life scheme. The gender-neutral premiums would become increasingly unsustainable, and premiums would have to increase, and possibly approaching the level women would have had to pay anyway under a gender-differentiated scheme, but without covering a significant portion of men.
The bill also allows CareShield Life premiums to be fully covered by MediSave, to which NMP Walter Tessera is concerned about.
The issue, I think, is not the misuse or abuse of MediSave funds. I am quite sure that this government poses no such risk. The issue rather is the use of MediSave to alter how healthcare financing is structured without a full and frank examination of how we should be balancing payments between pre-funding and current payments between the individual and the taxpayer.
We allow the use of MediSave, but judiciously, because we recognize that it may be difficult for individuals to save and plan ahead for long-term care.
Mr. Tong added that as a safeguard, withdrawal limits have been set for additional coverage.